Now that you've made the decision to sell your house, let's talk about how to dress your house for success. Some different categories we're going to talk about in how to sell your house for the maximum price in the shortest amount of time. And so I want you to look at your house from the eyes of the buyer as you get ready to put it on the market and get ready to do some things to help accomplish this. Think about how the buyer will view your home as they walk up to it, just to help it sell faster. So let's jump right into the first category. This is the hardest one. So when we come in as a real estate agent looking at your home and we give suggestions or some advice or our opinions, don't get your feelings hurt. Don't take them personally, because we're there to help you. And we're looking at your home from the viewpoint of a buyer. And for a homeowner, a lot of times that's really hard to do because you're used to living there and you like living there. You like everything just like it is. But we're coming in with a different perspective, and a lot of it involves just decluttering, uncluttering the house in a lot of different sections. So let's talk about with the exterior first. I want you to go out to the curb and I want you to look at your home from the street, because this is the first impression. And I can't tell you how many times I'm meeting a buyer at a house to go look at it. And as we pull up, the first thing they say is, I really don't need to see it. We could just skip it. Let's just go to the next house instead. Well, a lot of times why they're saying that is because the exterior really needed some work. It needed some uncluttering of the exterior. It just doesn't show well. And a lot of times all this is, if there's pots of plants that don't look good, it's, I don't know, let's say August, and a lot of them are dying out, just go ahead and remove them. It might be good to power wash the driveway if there's stains all over it. If there's a car that's sitting on the driveway that you don't drive much and it's just kind of parked there, I would suggest getting rid of the car. Take it to someone else's house, park it in front of someone, a friend, or just remove it. Take it to your parents' house, park it there, and then power wash the driveway underneath that. Things like this really affect the exterior. Some simple, cheap ways to do this: put some fresh mulch. Maybe get some cheap bushes or rose bushes and fix your landscaping. Make your exterior look good. You might need to touch up the trim around the front door, because that's where we're standing at first. And we're opening the lockbox, we're unlocking the front door, and they have nothing to do but look around. If you have garden hoses, water spigots at the front of your house, remove the garden hoses and put them on the sides just to give the front a clean look. You also need to do this anyway, getting ready for your pictures. So put a little time into that, get it looking clean, get it looking really sharp. Now let's talk about how to unclutter your cabinets, countertops in the kitchen and bathrooms. This is a big one. This is hard. This is time consuming. Your kitchen countertops need to be minimized as much as you can minimize. If you've got a toaster oven, it needs to go somewhere else. A lot of these things really, they're not pretty to look at when someone walks in and they're viewing your kitchen. Open up your kitchen counters as much as possible. Things that you really don't need out, they need to go somewhere else. You're moving, so you might as well box these things up that you don't use much and go ahead and get them off the kitchen counter. With that said, your kitchen cabinets. Let's say you have little kids. Here's a suggestion I would give. I would box up some of the extra glasses and plates. Let's say you've got some, because they're going to open your kitchen cabinets. Let's say they open one up and you've got stacks of plastic cups. And you've got extra plastic cups stuffed on top of those because you really don't have much room. And so what you need to do is unclutter that, minimize it. If you don't need it, you don't need it to stay. I would eliminate and get rid of things. Now, what you need to do, especially if you have kids and you have sippy cups and you have bottles and things like that, what I would do, I would take one or two of your kitchen cabinets near the sink where you're standing the most, and clean it out. Box those glasses up and pack them. Get those cleaned out and create space so that you can set dirty dishes, or you can put dirty dishes in the oven and set them in there if you have to rush out. But take bottles that are drying. If you have a drying rack at your sink, take that out, set it up in that cabinet so that you're able to leave your house quickly and you can still function. You need your countertops clean. You need your kitchen sink empty for showings. Don't put all the dirty dishes in the sink. That doesn't look good when we're standing in your kitchen talking about your beautiful new granite. Same with the bathrooms. I would eliminate space underneath your sink, clean out some drawers, pack things that you don't need, so that everything that you are using that's probably normally on top of your bathroom vanity, it can now go in a drawer so you can access the hair dryer, plug it in, put it back in the drawer. Your makeup, all the different things, deodorant, toothbrush, all those things can go in a drawer so that you can still function, and you're going to eliminate things that you really don't use much to create space. And you'll love living like this. Your kitchen counters will be clean, your bathroom vanities will be cleaned off, and it will just look really good. Play like you're getting it ready for pictures. That means minimize greatly. Now here's some things. I just want to toss out some ideas of things that I see on a regular basis that just keep the home from looking its best. So if you want to really dress it for success, let's say in your kitchen area, you've got 8 plants in pots. Some of them sit on the table, some sit on the floor. You think they're great because you've had them for 20 years. I would eliminate some or take them to a neighbor's house. Ask if you can carry this plant over to their house and they can keep it until it's time for you to move. Get rid of all of those because it just doesn't show as well cluttered. The same with bookshelves. Now when we get into family pictures, if it's okay to have a few pictures. You don't want to just minimize it completely if you don't want to. But if you have 40 pictures of grandkids all the way down both sides of your hallway, I would eliminate all of them and probably pull all 40 little nails out of the wall and repaint that hallway, because it's probably not going to show well around where all those pictures have been hanging for years. But that would greatly unclutter your hallway. And if you have coffee tables and various other tables and china cabinets and things that are just really cluttered, this is the time to unclutter, box things up. You might have way too many books. If you have books on a shelf and you have more books slid on top of those, it doesn't look great. That's a great time to box those up and get ready to make your house show better. Now, bedrooms are a little easier unless you have kids, and the kids' bedrooms are much harder. I've got 3 kids and they are constantly messy because we're not selling our house. But if you are selling, you might need to minimize some furniture in these bedrooms. You might need to minimize extra chairs or extra lamps or whatever's in there that just looks cluttered. You might have a huge bag hanging in the corner stuffed with all the stuffed animals, and it just looks cluttered. I would take all these things down, minimize. Remember, you're moving, so you might as well go in and pack them in a big box and get them out. Now let's talk about cleaning. Cleaning is also a big one. I would suggest you bring in a friend or a family member and not just help. It'd be great to get a lot of help with this, but also get their opinion, get their insight on how things really look. And remember, this can get personal really fast because this is how you live. Don't be offended by anyone's comments or suggestions, but here's what some of the things that I see as an agent walking up and hearing to what a lot of buyers say about a lot of different houses. Cleaning is different than uncluttering that we just talked about. And by the way, you probably just stirred up a lot of dust with removing all these different things. On the exterior, think about power washing your front stoop. And it would look totally different. So if you've got somebody, a handyman, or you could do it yourselves, get a power washer and power wash your front stoop, your steps, and your driveway if you need it. If you have recent oil stains on your driveway, a lot of times I use carburetor cleaner. If there's a drip or somebody shows up from a delivery, a DoorDash person, and they park on the driveway and there's a drip of oil, spray a little carburetor cleaner, hose it off, and it's probably gone. You can just scrub it off with a toothbrush, but carburetor cleaner is great. If it's stains that have been there for years, they'll still power wash to an extent. Now, while you're vacuuming your house, take out the extension hose. Get your vent covers vacuumed. This is one of the grossest things people seem to forget when they're cleaning. You know, you got vent covers up on walls, just suck all the junk that's out of them. All that lint, all the dust, especially if you have pets, might be full of hair. Clean those. A really nice touch, if you have a little extra time, is take your kitchen cabinets and wipe them all down with Murphy's oil soap. There's certain cabinet doors that are gonna look a little grungy from people touching them more. Maybe the ones by the trash, maybe the ones with the silverware, the ones that are used the most, and just, you'd be amazed what that would do, especially with pictures. It gives a nice, rich look to them. Your appliances, those might need to be cleaned. Check them out, have your friend check them, see what they think. How does your microwave look, and how does the oven look? Those are great things to get cleaned before it goes on the market. Now look at your carpet. You might need to have your carpets cleaned. And if so, you could have it done and pay money, or you can go rent a machine. I do this at our own house. Go rent a cleaning machine. Home Depot and Lowe's, they rent them out, or pay a company to do it. Now, if you have kids like me, your walls may not look so great. And I remember at one point, one of my kids decided to trace his hand with a pen on the wall, and was so proud of himself because the tracings were great. Did a great job. In fact, he did it again here and again up here. Perfect handprints. There's no way to get that off with magic erase. So we had to repaint the wall and put Kills over it first. So look at your walls. That could be something that you could clean easily. Sometimes we just take a wet towel, or you go up the steps, and if you got little grubby handprints where they rub their hands sometimes above the steps, a lot of times that will just wash off with a wet towel. That's an easy thing you can do to clean. Look at your shower. Look at the showers in your other bathrooms that your kids use. Clean those, because that's one of the grossest things when we are just, obviously we're looking at the bathrooms. We're gonna peek in the showers. And if it's just disgusting, that's an easy thing to clean in advance. And the same with windows. Now I'll give you a tip with the windows. Do you have to clean them all? No, but there's certain windows that the buyers are gonna be looking out the most. Let's say you have a glass front door or a glass back door. Those are the easiest to clean and the most obvious. Windows in your breakfast area where you're looking out, or in your kitchen. Try to clean the windows that people are gonna look out, the most commonly used windows. And the same with blinds. Blinds might need to be dusted. And if you have certain light fixtures, especially a kitchen light, and if the bowls go up and the light bulb, and they're just great dust collectors, those are great. Unscrew the light bulb, either wipe it out or just unscrew it, put the glass in the dishwasher. They're easy ways to clean those so they look really, really, really clean. This is one of the final things that I want to talk about, is making repairs. I don't want to get into too much money here, but there are some things that you need to look at that will help your house sell much easier. The number one thing on here is exterior. And the reason I want to talk about that in selling your home is certain buyers might be getting an FHA loan or a VA loan. The appraisal is different for those buyers. Getting a VA loan or an FHA loan, the appraiser is going to have a checklist of some conditional items, conditions about your house. For example, some of the conditions they're looking for would be no rotting trim, no rotting siding, nothing rotting on the outside, nothing rotting on the deck, can't have any peeling paint or any bare wood. That's the biggest concern that the appraiser has when they're looking at your home. So if you have deck boards that are soft and squishy and clearly rotting, or the railing going down is rotting so badly, then you either do need to get those things fixed up front, where you can have a handyman come in and make repairs, or you're going to be looking at probably selling more as is and limiting your market to conventional buyers. Other things you can do on looking at the exterior would be if you have any dripping faucets outside, those should be fixed. Speaking of that, do you have any dripping faucets on the inside? How's the kitchen faucet? The bathrooms? Make a to-do list for a handyman, because these are really pretty easy and pretty cheap things to fix. Caulking the showers is a big one. Remember when you were in there cleaning just a few minutes ago? How does the caulk look around the bottom edge? Does it need to be recaulked? Has it turned black from mildew and it really needs to be carved out of there and replaced with a new bead of caulk? Now, older homes a lot of times have little tiny hairline cracks in bedrooms or wherever. A lot of times you'll see them coming out the corners of windows or the corners of a door frame. It's a common place to see little tiny sheetrock cracks. If you're going to be repainting walls anyway, then repair the cracks, get some spackling, have your handyman fix those as you repaint, because if your house hasn't been repainted in years, then that's a good thing you can do and make some simple repairs with that as you do some painting. Now, carpet. I have to tell you a funny story, because years ago, I went to list a home that still had original carpeting back from the 60s, and it was dark green, beautiful carpet. It really was. I think green carpet back then was really pretty. And so she did agree that yes, it's very old carpet, and she said, yeah, she'd be fine recarpeting. And so we also discussed repainting her walls, because they hadn't been repainted in years. In fact, I think they were all wallpapered. So she did have the wallpaper removed, had her walls painted, and she did do beige, something neutral. But when she recarpeted and I came over to list it, she went with all brand new green carpet. And in fact, she told me the funny story of going to the carpet store and they made her pay the entire balance up front, no refunds, because this was a special order carpet. And so sure enough, she replaced the whole house with brand new green carpets. And I think I advertised an indoor putting green. Walk around and look at your lights. Make sure every light bulb is on, because it will also help with the pictures. Last thing you want is your dining room chandelier to have 4 missing light bulbs, or your entryway light or bathroom lights. So just do a walkthrough, get your light bulbs replaced. And now let's wrap up the video. Let's talk about the final touch. So you've got your house ready to go. And so now you've met with your realtor, you've taken their advice, because I'm sure they will have some. Just don't be offended. Just work through the process, get it ready to go, because we're helping you dress your house for success. By the way, if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and give my video a like, because now we're going to talk about the final touch. This is what happens right before and what's going to happen for your showings. This is some advice that I would give, and I think it's going to help. I think it's going to help you, because some of this is what I see that people may not do the best at. And so you're ready to go live. It's the day of showings, and so you can do a final touch throughout the house, maybe a new welcome mat. I would do, if you want, a basket of booties at the front door, because coronavirus is still going on. You know, the vaccine's out, but yet you don't want 30 people bringing their germs into your house and touching everything. So before every showing, if you can, if you're living there still, if it's not vacant, then turn on every single light in your house. Every switch that turns on a light, every table lamp, turn them on. If you can, play some relaxing music, some light jazz. Don't have the TV on, with a program. Don't do a show, because that's distracting. But maybe some light music if you want to, but definitely turn on every light switch. Your agent can certainly put comments, or you can. I would do it as the homeowner. Put a note, maybe on the door, and also maybe on the kitchen counter, to please leave the lights on, so you don't have agents and buyers touching every single light switch in your house. I think now they will very likely sanitize before they come in, because they're more afraid of your germs, because they're coming into your environment. But have a thing of sanitizer if you have a table at the front door. They will probably take their shoes off anyway. But that way you're keeping germs minimized anyway. I've done this for years, even before coronavirus came around, just to minimize germs, and I don't like everybody touching everything coming in. The other thing that you can do inside, if you have a hand towel in your, say, bathroom or half bath, and it looks like it's been out in the garage for a few years, get a new one. A cheap one is fine, and just to make it look clean and pretty. I'm not a big fan of plugging in Glade plugins. I think the smell can be overpowering, and sometimes it can look like maybe you're trying to disguise something. But something that I do love is if somebody, the homeowner, wipes down their kitchen counter right before a showing with a product that smells really good and clean. That's a really nice fragrance to walk into the kitchen, because it smells really clean. That's something you could think about. In the market that we've had, it's probably going to sell quickly. You're probably going to get a lot of showings. Hopefully you get multiple offers. But you're probably not going to go through too many showings for too long before it goes under contract. But these are some great final touches that you can do. Open up your blinds before you're showing. Bring as much light into your home as possible. And really, those are the big things that I would do. Now, when you get home, the showing is over, and now you, the homeowner, you're walking back home, you're back inside your house. There are a few doorknobs that they have touched for sure. If it were me, just to give you some peace of mind, I would take some sanitizer or a Clorox wipe, and I would wipe the door handles of where you, inside your house, go out in the garage. You know they went out and looked at the garage. Wipe both sides of that door handle. Wipe both sides of your front door. They probably didn't touch much else. But if you want, do your microwave door handle, maybe your refrigerator door handle, maybe your oven door handle. They might have looked in those to see how clean they are. And that way, your house, your environment stays really, really clean for you. If you liked my video, again, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you sell your home for the highest price possible. Thanks.